How tangible is that?
Very.
Yeah.
Everyone could do that.
Yeah. I think this would be a really great school, and we're teaching people how to look after themselves but embrace, bless you, who they want to be. And likely, I don't know, maybe this is an assumption in an idealistic mindset of the school we've created, but likely if you're running a school like that, you're then going to find talent that want to be at that school as well. Not people that have gone, oh, I'll become a teacher. Or I studied history for years. Oh, like, what can I do with this? Oh, I can be a history teacher. Sick. I don't know. No shit. Like, no, you've got a degree. That's fucking awesome. History is awesome. It's a cool subject.
It is. It's very interesting. I wouldn't recommend it as a career.
But if there's someone that loves history, they want to get all up in the tanks, do your thing, man.
Yeah, get all up in the tanks.
Yeah, but it would encourage talent.
I think, yeah, actually then you could have, because you finish school at 16 and at that point you can go and get an apprenticeship. So that would be more attractive for companies to go to and be like, okay, who's been like really interested in business and like who would potentially like to try a role in X, Y, and Z? Like, yeah, well, these 5 people look like they potentially want to do that. So feel free to interview them, see if they.
Then it shows a reward basis as well for those that do excel, or do express interest. Not necessarily just excelling, but those that really show interest. You know, and he may not be the best right now, but he's shown up every single day for this lesson. He clearly wants to know more.
Yeah, and the other thing is, it shows that because it's not hard to do the thing that you enjoy doing the most. It's not hard. Like, it's easy to show up every day for the thing you enjoy the most. Like music, I got a C in GCSE music. Like, I wasn't necessarily good. I'm still not necessarily good, but I enjoyed it. I liked being around it. And what that shows is the improvement I would have had if I could just do that every day versus a half-hearted teacher at, you know, once a week, twice a week. It would show that if, like, oh my God, I'm way better at music. I have no idea what's going on in chemistry, but I've not seen a thing of hydrochloric acid since I left school. It's not a day-to-day thing. Whereas music, has become a day-to-day thing because it was an interest and I got better at it and I practiced it and I practiced it and I practiced it and I practiced it. It would show people that if you do what you're passionate about, you get better results rather than if you do what you think is what everyone else in the world wants from you, then you get good results.
Yeah. Yeah. What are your thoughts on basic, like there has to be some sort of mandatory learning though? You have to have some sort of basic understanding. There's still basic understanding of math, science, English.
Yeah, I think if you had that up until like age 14.
Okay.
I think that's probably a good cutoff because that is usually in UK schools, that's when you choose your options anyway. So you get to have a bit more decision making. Like, am I going to do languages? Am I going to do computer science? Am I going to do this? Am I going to do that? It's like you're already given that sort of freedom. So that if we think that's a good age where you can make decisions, I think maybe teach math because then you've also got the fundamentals to then actually be able to go and thrive in these environments where it is more loose. But I think 14-year-olds can think for themselves, and if you gave them their own decision making, like that's all a teenager wants. They want freedom, so give it to them.
What do you think the long-term outcomes would be of that though? Because there's probably many people that are listening to this podcast, that are going, no, teenagers can't make sensible decisions. They can't think for themselves. My child's an idiot. And there might be people that are thinking that this idea is awful, founded on two people's idealistic mindset that don't have children, clearly didn't like school.
But are they thinking that because their kid has only been forced down things that don't fit them? They were never given the chance to go and have a wakeboarding day. Like maybe that was their... Like, I've never been surfing, and I'm pretty convinced I would enjoy surfing. Like, I've never been given the opportunity, and therefore I've not done it. But maybe if I'd been given the opportunity at 14 to start to learn to surf, I could have decided to be a surf instructor, and that would be way more fulfilling.
And then if you had someone that was on board with you that was like, yes, okay, you want to become a surfing instructor, let's talk about the idea of running a surf school. Let's get you into these business lessons as well.
See what
you don't like that? Fine. Let's put you into these lessons of how you can market yourself. Okay.
And I think also the idea, I think one of the things I like most about guests coming in, and this is sort of like the hidden thing in schools, is schools take a long time to actually catch up to modern day stuff because it's all got to change in the curriculum. It's got to be approved by boards and all of this stuff. if you have guest lecturers coming in, they're going to be coming in with the most modern, up-to-date stuff because they're going to be talking about the context of their business and what they're doing now.